Hi, my name is Three Wise Radio.
Hi, Three Wise Radio.
No one's opened the envelopes.
Yeah, it's like we've sealed them, and like it's the same company.
Sealed them in gold wax.
That's not true. I call horse shit.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? They do it like every year.
It's like the same company has kept them in a blank vault. Like you couldn't. I'm sure there'll be a joke this year that's like not even Russia could figure out the winners of these competitions.
Meanwhile, Russia's like, challenge accepted.
It's like, bitch, we are the foreign press.
And they always make the same joke that it's like the guy looks like Matt Damon or something. You ever notice that? Oh, yeah.
The guy that keeps them?
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen that one. I remember, what was the last one where it was Neil Patrick Harris. That one flopped, where he was like, oh, I'm guessing my predictions. And then he labeled that as predictions. That one flopped. Harris was good, but like his whole overlying bit flopped a good amount. But who's the host this year? You said
Jimmy Kimmel.
I like Jimmy Kimmel, actually.
Yeah, the guy's name is Brian Cullen, and he looks like Matt Damon, and they always make that joke.
Matt Damon.
He does. He looks like a bloated Matt Damon. Take a look.
Is bombing.
He does.
Bombing.
Good.
Did you see the IGN review for Logan, though?
No.
9.7. So this is the new benchmark.
Wow.
I know we hint at it, or we talk about it all the time, but they were like, Civil War was like, oh, it should be nominated like this.
Because it's not really.
We're not going to talk about it because, like, yeah. Because it should be. Like, we're not going to make a spectacle of it because this is something to consider. And, like, I read the interview with Hugh Jackman where he was just talking about, I don't know if it was Collider or whatever, but he was just talking about the, like, this road. And he was like, yeah, the whole idea is, like, it doesn't have to be a comic book movie. This is about, like, this is a Clint Eastwood movie. This is about a man with a history reconciling with the decisions he's made, dealing with regret and failure and sorrow, and coming to terms with his life. And I was just like, oh, shit. Okay, here we go. It's also a little girl with blade hands and feet. All right. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm fucking so rock hard for this movie. I'm going to buy tickets for the March 2nd.
Is it an IMAX?
You're obviously on question marks. It's IMAX. Yeah. March 2nd on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
The game. It's going to be like 10, 11 o'clock.
I could do that.
Okay.
Do we get the poster?
I don't know. I'm going to buy the tickets soon. But I'm buying some for Steve and Dre, and that's it. But I'll buy them here
because you've seen the poster, right? The IMAX poster looks.
Is it the one?
Really
which
sweet.
One is it?
It's like the old time movie posters where like he's Jackman standing real tall, and you got like Stewart painted down in the bottom.
Oh yeah,
and,
dude.
Yeah, like they look freaking awesome.
Oh yeah. It looks real cool.
I hope if they do that like the olden days.
It's a western. Yeah, it's a western.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean everything looks so good, and also a great part is that they haven't. Well, I think I know how, because in one trailer, I think I know how Stephen Merchant's character dies, but like they haven't showed him at all. Like we don't know what's happening in this movie yet.
I know.
We're getting trailer after trailer. Well, 2 trailers and a teaser. We don't know what's happening.
I saw another trailer today, and I don't know if it was just like a little bit more footage,
like
like
TV spots.
Yeah,
but those are how trailers are supposed to be. They're supposed
we
to
don't
make
know
you
the premise. He's doing something
still no
with
premise.
her.
Yeah.
He's doing something with her.
Right.
That's all we know, which is fucking awesome, dude. Best birthday present ever. Thanks, Fox.
I'm not Fox, but I'm.
You could be. More entertainment news and a look at Matt Damon's movie career on today's show. Welcome to Three Wise Radio, a podcast where we talk about movies, video games, comic books, TV, technology, the internet, and pretty much everything else media related. My name is Joe Greller. I am joined as usual with Garrett Welker and Sam Pixley.
Hey, Joe.
You know what I've always wondered?
What?
What are the other things media related?
Anything that is media related.
Right, but it seems like you covered a lot.
Memes are media related,
Memes?
but I did not say memes.
That's fair.
Internet little videos, like if we talk about YouTube or stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't really fall under technology.
Viral
doesn't really
videos,
fall under the internet. Doesn't really. It's all media.
That's fair.
Though.
Stuff that you're not really sure what it is or where it belongs.
Yeah,
okay.
but it's all media.
Okay. I was just checking, making sure that what we're doing is right and true
67 episodes in or whatever we're at now.
I mean, we all have our different times where we come to grips with ourselves,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyhow, The Great Wall is in theaters this weekend.
Whoops. Perhaps Matt Damon should come to grips.
And yes. And it's not doing so well. So we thought we'd take a look at Matt Damon's movie career and ask the age-old question, and kind of a weird sensation where we've actually seen his movies as opposed to we didn't see Shailene Woodley's movies, but almost kind of the same thing where we're going to go through his filmography and determine is he really a good actor?
Okay.
It's a good question. There was a time I was sitting down with another group of people, because I do socialize rarely without you guys, and I was like, Matt Damon is other movies besides Jason Bourne. And the thing is, he's got a ton of movies.
Yeah.
But it takes everyone a minute to start to cycle through and try and remember. Like, one kind of spurns on the other one, but it takes a second to, because kind of like, yeah, I guess he is in other stuff, right? Oh, yeah, he is in that, yeah. So it's just interesting to see when you take Bourne out of the equation.
I don't think I've seen a lot of Matt Damon movies.
You think no, but once we start listing them.
Yeah.
Once we start listing them.
You will realize that you have. So let's take a look at some headlines, starting with the fact that The Great Wall has been bombing at theaters, only grossing $18.1 million this week. That was good enough for third, behind 50 Shades Darker at 21, and Lego Batman top for the second straight weekend.
Ooh, John Wick slipped a bit.
34.2. John Wick slipped to fourth at 16.5. But it already grossed, I think it was a $40 million budget movie, and it grossed 41 last weekend, so...
Yeah. Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
We're going to get that third one.
Good.
Yeah, I know. We'll see. Maybe. I mean, I'll get excited for it. You know what I don't like, though? Every single newspaper that I've seen, and newspapers are not the most popular thing anymore. I think they're jealous of the radio industry still surviving. But newspapers, every single newspaper I've seen for the review section has the same tagline. Not so great wall. Fails to make a profit. None of you are clever. At all. Have you seen that? Have you guys seen that?
No.
I don't know where they sell newspapers.
Every single review. The local cart, like a little stand that's selling newspapers. You don't see those?
No, it's usually like the homeless man has already rated it for warmth.
That's fair. I think I was in 7-Eleven.
Okay.
But yeah, great, cool. You're using, I get puns. That's great.
You're all using the same puns. In other movie news, because that's just enough of that downness. I don't know who this actor is, so I'm going to say his name, and you guys can tell me who it is, because you guys are more versed in the realm of Harry Potter films. But David Thewlis, I think I said that name right.
Is that Daniel Radcliffe?
Lupin.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, I don't know who Lupin is or whatever.
He's a werewolf guy. Rawr.
Okay, has been reportedly cast as Ares in the Wonder Woman movie.
Oh, yeah. I saw some leaks that were like, spoilers, it's not who you expect.
The Wonder Woman.
We all thought it was the one dude.
I mean, I don't care.
We all thought it was going to be Stryker.
That movie's in turmoil anyway, so... Well, that makes sense that it would be like, oh, it actually wasn't. Actually, no, that doesn't make sense for Ares. I mean, historically, Ares... Okay. Are we good?
Just go.
Yeah, okay. Go. So, historically, like in the Greek mythology, correct me if I'm wrong, feel free to post, Ares and Athena are both gods of war. But Athena is a god of tactics and intelligence and like putting together a battlefront, whereas Ares is rage, combat, and like the physicality of war.
I was always under the knowledge that she was the goddess of wisdom.
She is.
But like,
also
and, like
war.
that was
it's
her
war.
Like she was a warrior also, but like her main facet was like wisdom and like scholars.
Yes, but she is also a god of war. So like and it's the way that both of those are put together, like the intellectual side of combat. But then, so the idea that like, oh, maybe Ares would be sneaky and be like, oh, I wasn't really that person. It's like, no, that's not what Ares would do. Ares would be like, hey, by the way, I just want you to know this is Act 1, but this is me doing my thing. Good luck. But I mean, whatever. I'm on board for this movie.
So, but what's funny is, okay, the guy's name who we always keep blanking on is Danny Houston. He's Stryker. Yes.
Okay.
Still in a lot of film like websites when they're attaching roles to actors, he is still listed as Ares.
Battle Royale.
So, like I said, take this with a grain of salt. But this is from BatmanOnFilm.com is where the story originated, which is usually a pretty reliable source.
What's the origin of grain of salt?
I think it was the first seasoning, so it was like, you can have it, but it's going to be pretty bland or not really satisfying. So
Is it?
take
Is that
it
what
with a
it
grain of
is?
salt. I think
I mean,
so.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
I might do some research on that.
Go for it.
Curiosity is killing my cat.
More movie news. Disney's live-action remake for The Lion King has cast its first 2 actors.
Question mark.
Yes.
Real quick. Why do they keep calling this live action?
I mean, would you not have considered that Jungle Book live action?
Jungle Book was live action because there was a kid in it.
True.
Oh, he's right. Well,
But
there's
it's
not
the
going to be
idea. I was
any-
sitting with Brian, friend of the show from Good, Bad, 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 and we were just kind of analyzing, like, this isn't live action. This isn't, they were just recording lions saying, like, hey, guys, do the Simba scene. Like, that didn't happen. This is all animation and CG. Especially now without Jungle Book. There's no Mowgli. It's just lions and a bird.
Yeah.
So why is this live action? What dictates that anymore?
I guess
Can this be nominated for Best Animated? Because now it is a live action. The fuck?
maybe it's.
question.
I think a better definition is probably like live animation.
Realistic animation?
Yeah.
Like, I just think animation's getting a little stroking its own ego, being like, yeah, it's real.
He's not wrong on this.
I know.
Yeah! I mean, I'm super excited about the news. Go ahead, Donald Glover.
I didn't even mention it yet, but yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Donald Glover and James Earl Jones have been cast as Simba and Mufasa. So
Yes.
that, that makes sense. But what, like now, like James Earl Jones seems to be the one guy who lucks out every time they need to recast his iconic role, whether it's Vader or Mufasa, and it's like,
He's still alive?
yeah,
Book him.
yeah, yeah. For example, and hey, to me, this is right up there with Vader and Mufasa. J.K. Simmons won't play J. Jonah Jameson again, but yet
He should.
But that's,
Yes, he
that's a
should.
voice. That's a voice is different from a character.
his is a voice, and it is iconically.
I mean, you
attached
got
to
Kevin
that
Conroy
role.
coming back for Batman.
Batman every
I
time,
feel like
true.
that's the same.
No, it's a voice, though.
Exactly.
A voice is different than J.K. Simmons coming back. He could come back to voice an animated series, but,
He did.
well, there you go.
But-
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Because I like the idea. I assume that Donald Glover, when he's playing young Simba, will be Donald Glover of old from
From like Community and
from
like
Community and stuff, like, oh, what? And then, but then his mature, like, I'm an artist now self will be when Simba grows up, and then we'll get, like, Childish Gambino.
yes.
There's going to be a real growth there.
That's a possibility. So you think he'll play both? Because like in the original, it was
JTT.
and Matthew Broderick.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think he'll pay both. You have to pay one less person. Sounds good. Money.
Do you get Whoopi Goldberg back as
No.
your hyena?
No.
Jeremy Irons?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the
Who's
only other.
Jeremy Irons?
Scar.
It's the only other cast member that matters.
Okay.
You don't even need Nathan Lane and whoever voiced Pumbaa.
See, that would actually be impressive if you got everybody back.
Mr. Bean was the bird.
I know.
I think they could score him for a reasonable price.
Yeah.
That would be impressive. You probably could get that whole cast back.
Yeah, I think so. Irons
But
would
then-
be the
but
most
then
expensive one.
At what point is like, what's the point of this?
Updated animation and
Kids aren't watching this movie anymore.
I don't know. It goes back to the thing of like live action. Like, what is this?
Not live action. It's not what that is. It's just not what that is.
I don't know, but I want it. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I want it too. Movie news that also doesn't make any sense. And trust me, we're working our way up to the biggest movie story that doesn't make any sense. The Purge 4 has announced a July 2018 sequel, but it is still seeking a new director. So I actually have not seen any of these. I've always wanted to watch them.
I've seen all of them.
Have you?
Yeah.
And?
The tagline that I think they should use for this movie is they progressively get worse. So like Purge 4, things progressively get worse. Because that's kind of what happens to the country as the Purge continues. And yeah, they just get worse. This last movie was horrible.
Oh, it was? It was bad?
I saw this one for
Movie Versus, didn't
Movie
you?
Versus, yeah. And so then I went back and watched all the other ones just to get an idea of it. The first one was really good. The premise is good. Ethan Hawke's good. Interesting story, interesting premise, but then things just start to degrade and it starts to turn more into like they try to make a point with it, with like the spectacle, but it just kind of it isn't there and it just kind of becomes a gore thing.
Gotcha. Did Crossbones survive? Frank Grillo.
Yep.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
The movie was so captivating it's hard to remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. Pretty sure every major player survives.
All right.
But that was right. Like that was it. They didn't announce anything else. They're just like, we're making this, but they don't even have a writer, right? Isn't the
Yeah. They don't have a writer. They just have a release date for next year.
Yeah, because the
July
same
of
guy has
2019.
been doing it, and he
And
stepped down.
he's
He's
like,
like, no,
I'm
I'm not,
done.
this is ridiculous. Stop it. Like, no, the purge must continue.
At least like with the Saw series until now. Who knows what this year?
Oh, with Saw
8.
8.
Oh,
Rebirth
but did you
or
see? Did you
Reimagining.
see who's going to star in it?
Jeff Chelios?
No, this makes me happy as a Smallville fan. Laura Vandervoort, the
Nice.
Supergirl from Smallville, is
She's
going.
a great Supergirl.
She's going to star. She's
She's talented.
She is a great Supergirl.
She's a nice lady.
Batman has been in turmoil for the past the past few weeks. And apparently Matt Reeves is now exit negotiations after talks have broken down. So we are back to square one on trying to get a director for the Batman. Do you think it's because Affleck still has a very focused point of view when it comes to this and they have to direct it within his means?
No.
Okay.
I think it's because the studio is still saying this is coming out
It's the turnaround
on this
it.
date. Like, this is happening right now. Get on board right now. And people are like, whoa, I got a life. I either have kids or another job I'm doing or no. And people are very turned off by that. I think they are in the point where they're like, we need to hit Batman will sell. That's a guarantee. Like, that is a hard guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
You think Wonder Woman might do well, but then there's always the stories about that being in turmoil and everything's in turmoil. And oh my God, the turmoil. It's chaos. But with Batman, like, that will you could put a turd on a silver platter and say it's Bruce Wayne's, and like that would sell money at this point.
Case in point, Lego Batman's still doing really well.
Yeah, and I hear that's getting mixed reviews.
Will Arnett, though, is really good. He did a prank call for BBC One Radio, and you can watch it online where they call a toy store, and every sentence he says has to go down the alphabet. So his first sentence when he calls had to start with A, and the last sentence he said on the phone with them had to end with Z.
Z.
And he did it, and it was really good.
Will Arnett's great.
Pretty funny. Of course, they couldn't tell that they were talking to a guy who sounds like Lego Batman asking about Lego Batman toys.
Well, that's like kind of an obscure thing. Like, I get when people do like, oh, this is the star of this big motion picture that you know of, but then it's like, oh, do that voice that you do for that movie that you were a bit part in.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Hollywood. You're not that big of a deal for the people that work at Toys R Us.
True. Or whatever toys stores they have in England. More movie news, because there was tons of movie news that came out this week. Actually, no, I take that back. I messed up that segue. I should have segued with the BBC.
Damn it.
Shame.
I totally messed that up.
about
Speaking of
BBC?
the BBC, Kevin Smith is working on a new BBC America series based on two popular Spawn characters, Sam and Twitch, the NYPD homicide detectives from the original Spawn comic series.
Interesting.
So this intrigues me for one reason. It's a BBC show, which means it's going to be 6 episodes roughly max.
I don't know what BBC America means.
It's what our channel is. So
Right, but like, what's on it?
all BBC shows.
But just in America.
Yeah,
Yes.
just in America, they usually get it at like a later date.
So has there been anything that's specifically like a BBC America piece?
Not really, but they'll claim that stuff like Ripper or Ripper Street or Doctor Who, there are BBC America specialized programming.
But they're not. They're just BBC.
Correct.
Okay. Would this be the first BBC America?
They have not broken
Sort
that
of?
down. Sort of, sure.
Okay. I mean, yeah, Kevin Smith kind of piques your interest for anything, though, you know?
He does, but like I said, it's the fact that you can get dark with the BBC. As I just figured out finishing
Watching Luther.
Yeah. You can get some pretty messed up stuff. And if you're going to base it in the world of Spawn, like that can go places. And it's just I've never heard of a show like this being announced for BBC.
I've never heard of anything being announced for BBC. It's just kind of like, it's already out there. Mm-hmm. And I guess America kind of shows up and is like, oh, hey,
This one's
that's
good.
cool. We will make that a big deal over here.
Yeah, well, there's also certain things they can't show or can't whatever. Like they can't do QI over here in America.
Such a great show.
It is, but they can't do it because they don't have rights to all the pictures they show in the background. That's really what is the holdup.
So I guess, yeah, I mean, they're just still in talks, right?
Yes, they are still in talks, but they are preliminary talks as well. All right, a story that we had not talked about that I want to talk about that's in TV. The CW has greenlit a superhero pilot for next season yet again.
That's so excessive.
Black Lightning will be Greg Berlanti's
18th.
18th, basically, his 5th show. I don't even know who this is.
Greg Berlanti.
No, Black Lightning. That's how far down the well we've now gone on TV. I don't know who Black Lightning
Static
is.
Shock.
That would make more sense.
They pushed a comic with him. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Was it during the New 52?
Yes, they pushed a comic with him. It was Black Lightning and some like blue someone, some kind of demon figure or something, and they were like teamwork. I think it was in like the DC Presents section. They did them for a while, and they had like a 5-issue arc. But I'm unaware of him either. Do you know what he is? Do you have it pulled up? Like what his power set is? Or
I should pull that up. All I have is I have the character descriptions for the show in front of me.
Give it to me.
So Jefferson Pierce, who I'm assuming is Black Lightning, is male, African American, late 30s to 50, handsome, fit with an athletic build.
Nice.
Former 3-time gold decathlon winner, who is now principal of a high school in South Central Los Angeles, a father figure to his students and a hero in the local community. Jefferson is charming, charismatic, smart, has both warmth and humor. He is devoted to his 2 daughters and remains deeply in love with his ex-wife, Lynn. He also has great passion for justice and a quick temper that he has spent years learning to control. Think Idris Elba lead.
Think Idris Elba. Don't think you're gonna get him, but think Idris Elba as a lead. So are they gonna go with an older hero?
Apparently, yeah. If they're going late 30s to 50s.
Think Idris Elba.
These character descriptions are ridiculous, but these are the literally legitimate character descriptions. Here's another one. Anisha, female, African American, to play, 22. Jefferson's elder daughter, beautiful, quick-witted and intelligent, intense and passionate. Anisha has a great respect for her father. Anisha balances the demands of medical school with her duties as a part-time teacher at Jefferson's school. Series regular, ASP.
Do you want to know his power set?
Yes, please.
Originally, he was described as having no powers. He just had a belt that allowed him to generate a force field and project electric bolts. So he originally had no powers, and then they were just like, that's not as cool, make him a metahuman. And so that's his ability, is he can like make a force field out of electricity and project electric bolts.
I mean, I guess it could work listen, this is something that would have worked if there was no other comic book shows on TV right now. And this is just your Thursday night drama about an aging superhero. Like, that's how this would have worked. But you're going to tie it in to everything else because you can't.
You make it like, oh, we've done like the cool trendy kid heroes, but now we've got a hero that's like a dad that's just trying to make a PB&J sandwich for his kids and also fight crime with his magic belt.
While being the principal.
Think Whoa! I mean, they all get good ratings, so... Cool.
Do they, though?
I don't know.
Do they really? See, that's another thing. How do we determine anymore? Because, like, we've talked about this before on the show. Netflix has siphoned off so much. Stuff that gets ratings today that is claimed successful would have got it canceled 10 years ago. And fairly quickly.
If you had to ask me if I was more excited for that or Iron Fist, it'd be tough. But I'd say Iron Fist.
What if they actually did get Idris Elba?
I would be more excited for that.
Okay.
So sorry, Idris, we're not going to bring you in. We're looking for more of an Idris type.
He couldn't even cast it as himself. All right, now for the craziest news of the week. I've been building up to this.
Oh my God.
Suicide Squad 2.
Yes. You've seen this, Garrett, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Both Mel Gibson and DC have confirmed they're in talks with each other to direct Suicide Squad 2. Gibson was doing a Q&A session at a February 15th screening of his Oscar-nominated movie, Hacksaw Ridge, and was asked by the moderator if the reports about him directing a Suicide Squad sequel were true. So this is getting close to a deal, or is it like a first date? And Gibson replied, it's kind of a first date. So, but...
Match made in
they are talking.
heaven.
What is this? This is ridiculous. Like... I don't think of the guy who did Passion of the Christ. So we know he can handle a budget and like an epic set piece.
Yes, but this is also the same guy that's like Batman vs. Superman. Yeah, movies shit.
Yeah!
Comic movies suck. Oh, give me one. Yeah. He also said that he was like, oh, I think the cast is cool. I don't care really about the story. I think it's a good cast.
Right.
What?
So we have a theory on why Gibson was tapped to be Suicide
Correct.
Squad's sequel's director. if you remember when the first one came out, Jared Leto was all over the place. There was the reports about just going off the deep, like, I've emailed pig intestines to everyone. It's like, Jared, yes. Oh, yes, that's how crazy it would be.
Here, download this 3D printer PDF.
Like,
Pig intestines.
just all over. Here's a used condom. Don't know if it was used by me. Like, he would just do all these all these weird things, and it doesn't do anything to help him get in the mindset of the Joker. I'm gonna be completely honest. Method act all you want. You sending weird crap to people does not get you in the mindset to play a homicidal maniac.
Tough to say.
With that in mind, and David Ayer doing Gotham City Sirens, which probably means Margot Robbie won't be around for Suicide Squad 2 either, though.
I think she'll make it work.
Anyway, with that being said, I feel like Gibson is on board with this just to keep Leto in check.
In check or?
No, in check, so that Leto is like, I sent you all horse penises, and then he gets to the door, and Mel Gibson's like, yeah, I fried it up and ate it. What do you? Thank you. Get on set. You fight fire with fire, Garrett. Even if that fire is crazy fire.
That can be the only thing.
Well, also he sent an Academy Award winning
Yes.
actor /
Well,
director.
nominated.
Nominated? Has he never won?
He's never won for directing.
Ah, damn it. But the idea of him just deflecting Jared Leto, even though he probably won't be in this movie because people hated him for some reason, is seems to make the only bit of mild amount of sense. Because nothing else makes sense.
There is no other
All
reason.
right.
And plus, like, when they announced it, they're in talks with Mel Gibson. The picture everyone used was
Crazy
He
face.
looked like the villain from Hamlet or something. Just
The only thing that I will applaud about this is, if it is anything, it's DC being like, fuck it.
I'd like to point out that Mel Gibson was Hamlet. He was not the villain in
true.
Hamlet.
But now he looks like the villain who's
He
lost
just
his
looks
mind.
like the villain. If you just showed a picture of him with, like, the villain, be like, okay, in what?
Doesn't matter.
Starship Trooper 7. Like, yep. It's a bad guy that allied with the space grubs, or whatever they are.
You're not wrong.
No, I know. That's why I'm super on board for him to direct this movie. Can you imagine the amount of talk there would be about this movie if he were behind it?
Oh, Christ. And
Christ, indeed.
Will Smith and other people who are, oh my God, who are in this movie just...
It's just going to be everybody praising, like, yeah, man, he's such a vision. Mel Gibson? Yeah.
No, I think it's...
Really? Margot Robbie, what do you think about it? Oh, he's just such a vision. This guy? The villain? Yeah.
Can we just
Can
term him
anybody
that from
honestly
now on?
tell me, like, oh, it was awful. He's insane. It's my concern.
I don't think so. What was
I'm
that?
super
I
on
was
board.
just gonna say, can we just term him the villain from now on?
No.
Anytime we talk about him.
Yes.
Again, probably not a great guy, but he's fine, I guess, right? Hollywood's gotten over the whole anti-Semite thing, right?
Oh, under him telling his ex-girlfriend that he's going to kill her and bury her in the rose garden?
Yeah, I think everybody's over that,
Okay.
right? It's Hollywood.
No, I don't think they are sugar tits.
You sure?
Yeah.
Everybody's gay once in a while. It's Hollywood. That's what they say in Tropic Thunder, yeah?
Yes.
So, I really do think everybody's kind of, like, over it, though.
Yeah.
From, like, an artistic standpoint. Like, well, he's still an artist. It sounds like a joke, but, like, I legitimately think
Do you
that
think
people are starting to be like, okay, sure. I mean, if he was able to do Hacksaw Ridge, enough people were able to get
Andrew
behind
Garfield stuck up for him a lot, apparently,
Yeah.
when the movie was starting out. So, speaking of movies and whether things are a joke or not, Matt Damon's movie career coming up next.
Hey, listen up, everybody. Got a little special thing I'd like to do tonight. I'll play a little song for you about the nastiest, freakiest little sex puppet I know. Matt Damon. This one's for you, baby. Happy anniversary.
Scottie
Touchdown! You guys know it's a touchdown. I won the Super Bowl and I won your stupid show. Did not win this show. Yes.
because you're not on the couch, and the couch isn't even out here. So unless you're on the couch, you're not a guest on the show. So you didn't
That's
win.
not the rule.
Pass your Oscar wherever it is in your house. You don't kind of give it a wink and go.
I kind of walk by and go, wow, that was lucky. you think job insecurity is what makes me work hard?
There's
I
job
wanna be an
security.
actor. It's not an incentive. That's the thing. See, you take this MBA style thinking, right? It's the problem with ed policy right now. A teacher wants to teach. I mean, why else would you take a salary and really long hours and do that job unless you really love to do it?
The Great Wall is in theaters right now, and if you're like everyone else, you probably have not gone and seen it. However, we thought we'd take a look back at Matt Damon's movie career to determine whether or not he is actually a good actor. Because as we were saying earlier, you think of Matt Damon, you think of Jason Bourne. And then,
Irish guy.
pretty much, Good Will Hunting, yes, because that was what his claim to fame was starting out. So we're going to go down the list of his filmography, and believe it or not, guys, there's a lot.
There is.
There is a lot of movies that he is in. And as you were talking about, Garrett, you think you probably haven't seen many Matt Damon movies.
I mean, I can name them on both hands.
All right. So we'll get there. But I bet you've seen more Matt Damon movies than you actually think you've seen.
Okay.
All right. And then at the end, we're going to figure out, is he really a good actor in this role? If we've seen it. Now, there's a few movies, like his first one here. I don't think any of us, and I know people have seen this movie because it was popular when it came out. But it came out in 1988. I don't think any of us have really seen it. Mystic Pizza. I know what it is. I know it's like a bunch of actresses who were famous in the late 80s making pizza, but from like a home standpoint. Not selling it or anything like that. Just
Doesn't
kind of
sound like a movie that I would enjoy.
like a feel-good Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants type movie for 1988.
Gotcha.
And he's barely in that. So I haven't seen that. Next, he's in School Ties. I haven't seen that one either.
I've seen that.
Have you?
No.
Okay. So you probably have to go all the way down to Chasing Amy is the first movie that he even has a short part in that I've seen on his list.
Yeah.
He has a very brief part where he is one of the MTV executives in Chasing Amy.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Fine. For the 2 seconds he was in there, fine.
So
That's +1.
amazing.
Sure.
Okay.
So a lot of his stuff is very not really there.
I mean, he's starting out small.
He
That's the way
does.
it goes.
But then Good Will Hunting hits, which him and Ben Affleck write. He stars in, and he blows up.
I mean, he's good in that.
He-
Let's
great
credit where
movie.
credit's due. Good movie.
It is a good movie. And it's a very well-written movie. I've even heard people say that's the only movie they like Ben Affleck in. Because he's not playing his generic person, or he's playing like he is so Bostonian that it's just, well, this is what he is.
Yeah.
Natural for him.
So, after Good Will Hunting, I'm going to say good in this one too. He is Private Ryan.
Yeah, but he's not in it a lot.
But he is good while he's in
in the
it.
bit that he's in it, yeah, he's kind of like, oh, you're after me? What about all my Oh, they're all dead. He's only in that he's probably in that for the last 20 minutes
Yeah.
or so. Maybe more than that, I guess. The last scene's a little long. But yeah, he gets the point across.
That would be an interesting thing to see too. Match his screen time with other people's screen time. Like, how long is Vin Diesel really in it? How long is...
Not a lot.
That's what I'm saying, like, how long is all these people really in this movie? Because you kind of swapping out and dying the entire way through.
If you're not Tom
Yeah,
Hanks, it
you
doesn't
ca-
matter.
You've kind of got 4 people that are in it for the majority of it.
Yeah, Hanks, Barry Levinson, I can't think of the other 2 people, but
The other guys.
yeah. Next, and I have seen this movie, I love this movie, Rounders. Him and Edward Norton as Texas Hold'em, basically Texas Hold'em, what's the word I'm looking for? Hustlers. Go around. And he's a law student. If you have not seen this movie and you love anything to do with poker, watch this movie. This is the quintessential poker movie. The problem with this movie is it came out in 1998, which is about 3 years before Texas Hold'em took off.
Gotcha.
Like, that was the only downside to this.
Can I just put it out there that I think Matt Damon looks a lot better in his 40s than he did in his 20s?
Yes.
Because Matt Damon in his 20s looks like
Kind of a
a
goober.
guy in his 40s trying to look like he's 20.
So he has
Yes.
like the John Hamm
Yes.
disease.
Yeah, a little
He
bit.
just doesn't pull it off well enough.
He looks good now, but like his hair just looks like somebody put it on his head. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's like kind of that blonde, like wispy hair.
He's got blonde.
He's a good looking.
Peter Parker.
He's a good looking man, but it doesn't seem genuine.
So from there, I'm only going to go through certain movies that like that we know now.
Okay.
Because now he's established. Now we really known. He is in next big major one is The Legend of Bagger Vance.
The Legend of Bagger Vance.
You haven't seen that one?
Nope.
Directed by Rob Redford. That's a Will Smith movie though. Even it's Matt
He's
Damon.
Bagger.
Yeah, he's struggling with his golf game in like the 1930s, and here comes ghosty, swaggy Will Smith telling him how to shoot golf.
And it turns out he was a ghost.
I think so. I don't remember.
Is it? I don't know. I've never seen it.
I've seen it, but
Maybe I
it's so
just-
long ago.
Maybe I just want to do this segment because I haven't seen any Matt Damon movies. I want people to tell me about
How is that any different from all of our other times?
it. Yeah.
Because I was listening to our 90s one. You're like, I have a list of movies I haven't seen. And then,
I haven't watched a lot of stuff
It's okay.
because I always like surprises.
we're experts here, people. Next, he is in, of course, Ocean's 11 would be the next big release that he's in.
That's pretty good. That's decent.
The following years. Is it good? Like,
Yeah, it's a good movie.
okay.
Oh, no, it's good. But again, he doesn't play like the pivotal role. Like he's not a pivotal role in it. He's not a star.
No, but he's a third lead.
I mean, I guess, but it's an ensemble piece, I guess, so that takes a little bit away from it. I guess my question is more like when he's the star, when he's like the man, does it work? Because he's not the man in that.
All right, let's go. Let's try and figure out when he is the man. Because so we said Bourne.
Right, we're not counting Bourne.
We're not counting Bourne. When he's
forgot about
the man. Can't
Brothers
go to
Grimm.
Euro Trip. He's in that for 2 seconds.
He's great in Euro Trip. Again, he might be a great bit player. It's more of a thing of just
Okay.
you get excited because he's in something, but not the whole time.
Did anyone see Stuck on You? That's the one where.
he's a
Siamese twin
you
with
could
Greg
not
Kinnear.
make that today.
No, but did you see that one? And
No, but I remember that.
Cher is trying to like sabotage them. Cher playing Cher is trying to like sabotage them and bring them down.
I've seen it. Oh, sorry. That's one of those movies on TV where like you've seen it. I've
In
personally
bits.
seen it in bits and pieces, and I can never make it the whole way through. So like this premise does not hold
So
up.
this is gonna sound really stupid.
Okay.
I saw this movie in theaters, but I only saw half of it in theaters.
The Matt Damon half or the other half?
No, because I only saw half of it in theaters because me and my friend bought a ticket or whatever. However, people must have snuck in this movie because the movie theater was packed. Yeah, a movie theater for some stupid reason on like a Saturday night was packed for Stuck on You. Like, packed. But this was around 2003 when apparently like a bunch of movies were packed for no reason. I used to go to the movies and just see crap weekend after weekend. Like View from the Top or Double Take or any comedy that was out at the time. And I saw Stuck on You, and we got kicked out because we couldn't sit down. But I'm like, you sold us tickets. And like, hey, we don't care. You're two 15-year-olds. Get the hell out of here.
I already got your money.
Yeah. I'm like, you kicked us out for just standing in a theater that you oversold.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even know they could do that.
they could in
For Stuck on
2003. All right. Then there's The Bourne Supremacy.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Greg Kinnear.
He's
Why
so
did
much
they
older.
do that movie?
Greg Kinnear does a lot of weird movies.
I'm just trying to find the age difference. Maybe it's not much.
I mean, it's a Farley Brothers movie. So it's from the people that brought you like Dumb and Dumber and
Okay,
stuff.
I guess they're not that much older. It's just in that. Kinnear looks significantly
Yeah.
older than Matt Damon. It's a 7-year difference, but
How do you? What?
The one side of the body's seen a lot of shit.
it's a good movie to say like, Greg Kinnear, why are you in this? Matt Damon, why are you in this? Why'd you write this? Why did this happen? Who was not brave enough to hold up the red light? Say, guys, well, hear me out. Give me 1 minute. We shouldn't do this.
Next. Okay, are we going to count more Oceans movies, or are we just saying he's good in all Oceans, good in all Bournes?
Good in all oceans. Good in all oceans.
Not good in all Bournes?
He's good in all Bournes, but we're not counting Bournes
That's what I'm
because he
saying.
is
so,
born.
So then we're just gonna move.
So
on.
we'll give him credit for the Oceans movies.
So in 2004, he does a Bourne, he does an Ocean. Next major one, Brothers Grimm. Never seen it.
Oh, it's
Him and
great.
Ledger. Is it great?
I enjoy it. I mean, this is like kind of the same vein as like Van Helsing, where it's not like the best CGI and stuff, but like, you know, it's kind of in that medieval fantasy sort of thing. But
So you want to like it?
yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
It's not like I went and rewatched it again like years later. It's not like a great movie, but it's entertaining.
It's you enjoy it.
It
when you're
does.
watching it.
It does the job.
Next technically,
Matt Damon.
Next
He
technically
does
would
the
be
job.
Syriana, but I've never seen Syriana.
Neither have I. I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah. Then we get to 2006, which means
Team America.
no, The Departed. He's not
Oh.
actually in Team America.
Prove it.
He does not
Really?
voice himself.
Then who
into there.
says Matt Damon?
I don't know. Trey or Matt? Trey Stone or Matt Parker does it.
You can't prove that.
Yes, you can actually.
Yeah,
they
you
do
probably
all the voices.
you probably can pretty easily.
But next is The Departed.
The Departed.
You don't like that movie.
I think it's one of the laziest endings to a movie ever.
It's a great ending to a movie. I like him in that movie,
it is
but he's
not
playing an
because-
Irish guy, a co-op.
Okay. It has the potential to be a great movie. But when your entire premise is DiCaprio versus Damon, and you're building for 2 hours to this, and then it never happens.
It does happen.
No, it doesn't. Oh, it
He's
happens in the...
shot in the fucking head.
Not by Damon.
But
Not by Damon.
co-op.
No, everyone dies, and everyone. The only thing that is even remotely redeeming about that movie at the very end is Wahlberg.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make up for the entire film.
Yes, it does,
No,
because
it
he's
doesn't.
the hero.
No, it doesn't. Listen. Once Martin Sheen dies, and I'm totally on board with Martin Sheen dying. Like that's completely fine. But once he dies, all hell breaks loose, and people just die.
Yeah,
for
except
no reason.
Except Mark Wahlberg, because he was wearing booties to keep himself clean, keep the room clean.
It's
Ending is so intense, and you hate it so much.
That ending is not intense. There's nothing intense about it. There's nothing intense about Nicholson being like, I'm an informant. No, you're not. I don't know if I'm an informant. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on either by this point.
No, he doesn't say he's not. He admits he's like, yeah, I'm a rat. Because Nicholson's a rat.
Right, but then like Damon's going through some psychological stuff. Like no one, I don't know. No.
You know what? It is.
No.
It would be fair to speculate that I enjoy it
Just
because you don't.
possibility.
When everybody just starts getting headshotted, I'm like, oh, Joe hates this so much.
But I will
into it.
I will also admit I have lied to exes that I like this movie because they have liked it. I'm like, oh, The Departed's great. Yeah, totally.
Did it win something?
But Scorsese finally won for director on this one. Might even win Best Picture.
Alec Baldwin's in this.
Yeah, but he doesn't die.
No, he's too busy.
What's up with that? Yeah, it won Best Picture and Director, and Screenplay and Film Editing. And Wahlberg was nominated for Supporting Actor.
Yeah, I think a lot of people argue that this was like okay, let's just give it to him. Like, just give it to him. All right, give him Best Picture, okay, go.
Because he should have won for like Gangs in New York and things like that, but didn't. We're not going to count the Oceans or the Bournes, which now he's just doing them at the same time. Oceans 2 and 3 and Bourne 2 and 3 both came out in the same year.
Pretty sure he just finishes a Bourne movie, puts on sunglasses and a suit, and then goes onto the set of Oceans.
Then he disappears for 2 years to gain a ton of weight and play that informant guy. You remember this one? The Informant with Mark Wahlberg, where he's really super fat, wears glasses, and like has a mustache.
Yeah.
And works for the CIA.
I remember seeing something for this one. I never watched it.
Yeah.
He works with the same people.
This is a Soderbergh film, so yes, it was interesting.
You saw it?
Yes. I rented it because it was supposed to be one of those things where like, Mark Wahlberg in a funny movie. And like, it was one of those movies where like...
Because it's his face on the cover and he's like, hey!
Yeah, and almost all the funny parts are in the trailers because it's not a real funny movie. It just is a movie. It's kind of a dry movie with funny bits in it.
Gotcha.
So it was very much a letdown. But he does that, then he does Invictus, which I enjoy Invictus. That's the rugby movie where Morgan Freeman plays Nelson Mandela.
Right. So good.
Good, yes.
Okay.
Because they actually...
Informant has a great cast.
They actually do the South African accent fairly accurate in that.
It's not easy to do without sounding like you're making fun of it.
No, and that's the thing. I believe that was one of those movies where everyone's like, why does everyone have such a weird accent? What's this stupid accent? It's like, that's
an actual
that's
accent.
the actual South African accent.
That's the sound of you not being educated.
Yeah. So there's that. Green Zone I own. It's okay, but it was given to me for free from a coworker. It's just okay.
That's high praise.
Yes. Then we get to True Grit, which I have still to this day not seen.
That remake is not great.
I'm assuming he's not good in it either then. Because keep in mind, we haven't said anything he's bad in yet.
But we also haven't been like, that's amazing. It's just been like, yeah, okay.
Also, Joe, I'm surprised you skipped over Dogma.
Because we already established all that stuff.
That's great. I think we're more complacent with him than anything.
Yeah.
It's very possible. Then we have the Adjustment Bureau, Contagion. We Bought a Zoo. Yeah.
Yes, he did kind of space out over the last couple of years, hasn't he?
Oh, I did see this. This is an HBO original movie. So if you have HBO, watch it because it's messed up. But it's also another Soderbergh film. Behind the Candelabra, because it's about Liberace, and Liberace was gay.
Okay.
And he plays like, and it's weird because Damon plays like the young guy who moved in with Liberace, and then Liberace starts doing plastic surgery to him, so he starts to look like Liberace. It's a messed up film.
Whoa. So he's great in that?
Yeah, it's a messed up film. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Then there's Elysium.
It was decent.
I just saw it like maybe a year ago, and it was bad. I would go no. It wasn't even good.
It was pretty cookie cutter.
That movie was awful.
But he's got robot stuff. He's got a mech suit kind of thing. No?
He doesn't really... Matt Damon is like the most just place him here actor ever. Because I'm just going to finish it up. Monuments Men, Interstellar, The Martian, The Great Wall. Because we're not counting Bourne movies.
I think that's the so I think that's the thing we're kind of, with all of this summing up to, is you put him in movies, you don't build a movie around him.
There's no... Yeah.
Like,
I'd
he's
agree with
interesting when you're
Okay,
like,
yeah.
oh, Matt Damon's in this. Interesting. But you're never like, oh, that Matt Damon movie? It's always like he's inserted into something. Nothing is sculpted around him.
The Martian may be the only time I can remember...
The Martian, Good Will Hunting.
Well, even then, though, Good Will Hunting was Robin Williams. It was Robin Williams in a serious role. Like, I remember that's why people wanted to see it. That was the motivator behind it.
I can see that. Yeah.
But The Martian's the only time where Matt Damon was very prevalent on it. And it was, everyone's coming to rescue Matt Damon. Heck, go back and listen to our episode. We have number 12, I think it is, where it's how much does it cost to rescue Matt Damon?
That's like $87 times a good amount.
Yeah. We do that in our party movies, issue number 12. So it's just, yeah, he is.
There's nothing discrediting him. I think people like Matt Damon. He hasn't given us a performance that's just been like,
Wow.
completely captivating.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he was cool in the Bourne movie, but
He's good in all his movies, but he's literally the second guy. Like, I love Dogma. I love Rounders.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's like when receivers get pissed because they're like, in the NFL, football analogy, for those of you nerds listening to this, I guess when somebody gets upset that they're not like the number one receiver, like, I'm a number one receiver. No, you're not. It's fine to be the second receiver on your team. That's a pivotal part of your team. You need a good second wide receiver. You don't have to be the first, though. Just accept who you are.
He's not a first receiver. We figured that out. Man, he has worked with everyone, though.
He's worked with like 20 people, and exclusively those 20.
20 people's a lot of directors.
Yeah, not directors. I meant directors/actors. All the people in Oceans make like 11 of them, 12 of them, 13 of them?
No, because 13, he would be in the 13, so 12.
Right, but
11, because Bernie Mac's dead now.
also directors.
Yeah.
Ocean's 8's the one with the women, right?
He's going to be in that as well. He is the only person coming over from the original.
That's the one they got?
Yeah. Because it's Matt Damon.
Because he's always around.
He just sleeps on the lots.
Yeah. You think you're getting Clooney? No, Clooney's swanking it up. You think you're getting Pitt? Nah, man, because who knows where his head's at half the time.
Lately? I don't know.
I watched The Big Short.
Yeah.
What?
He's also going through a lot of personal stuff.
Did the Margot Robbie scene not clarify what was going on?
I mean, it clarified, and it was great, but that movie was not a good movie. It wasn't. There was no... It was bad.
Didn't like it? No. It was nominated for something.
It was nominated for Best Picture.
Best movie.
All
I
right,
think we learned a lot here.
We did. Don't go see The Great Wall. Unless Willem Dafoe is really more
But
prevalent
the thing is,
than we
I still
thought.
want to see it.
Do you really?
Not for money.
So you're not seeing this movie?
Oh, not right now. Not in the current format that I can see it. I will when this comes inevitably on Netflix in way less time than we expected. Yeah, I'm gonna watch this movie for sure. There's giant animals in it, like monster animals. They probably eat something, some kind of
Matt Damon's. They eat
oil
Matt
or
Damon's.
some kind of natural resource or something. I don't know.
Matt Damon. Matt Damon.
As usual, we end every episode with what's piquing your interest, or we just say what's piquing our interest. Garrett, what is piquing your interest this week?
This week, that Artifacts Plus, the Spider-Man statues that I've been ordering.
Yes,
Yes.
you're a big
the,
fan.
The Carnage one released this week. Well, not released, but like is available for pre-order, and it looks.
Are you pre-ordered?
Yes.
Nice.
Looks pretty dope. I'm excited.
We've talked about this before. There is no version of a statue that you would not order from this line.
No.
Gotcha.
I'm getting. There's only 2 more left. That's Venom and Spider-Man 2099, I think.
Line them all up once you have them?
Yeah.
Okay. Sam, what's piquing your interest this week?
So besides getting my butt kicked in For Honor, which is a game that has recently released,
How was that?
It's fun, but it's there's a steep learning curve.
Okay.
So a poster company that I get almost all of my wall art from, called Mondo Tees, which comes out with different artists' rendition of movie posters and things like that, is actually working with, for the first time, Project Raygun, which is a side company of a major corporation, yada, yada, yada. Essentially, Mondo Tees is making their first board game. Ooh. And they decided, so the thing that they're partnering with Project Raygun is to make board games based off of movies that haven't been done before. So their first board game is going to be called Infection on Outpost 13. And it is The Thing board game, where you have to figure out which one of you players is infected, and they haven't gone into too much detail. They talk about like the complications of a poster movie company partnering to make a board game movie or a board game, and it seems very interesting. It's a very interesting article just talking about how they're passionate about it and how they wanted to come up with something really special, and they think that this is a very interesting type of game to put together. So I will be buying this for sure. I don't know who I'm going to play it with, probably you guys, but
I'm down.
It's probably a long ways away, but that definitely got me excited. I like when people branch out. Joe, what about you?
What's piquing my interest is you may remember when we did a story a few weeks ago on the reveal of Episode 8's title, The Last Jedi.
So many Jedi.
That's the thing, though. I was under the impression, as some people were, where it's like, was it singular? Was it plural? I was very adamant about you can't have it be the last one if you just 2 were removed from the return of it. So thanks to foreign movie posters, because the English language is one of the few languages that we only add S's if things are meant to be plural, but when something like Jedi comes along, or moose...
We don't.
We don't. That's right. The correct form is moose. You guys never played that game when you were younger? Was it moose, meese, or mooses?
I just knew
Yeah.
it was moose. I was a very smart child.
No, see, I only hung around with everyone who was dumb, so this followed me way into high school.
Fair enough.
Anyway, The Last Jedi is apparently plural according to every foreign poster.
Everyone but us.
Does it say the Jedi, the Last Jedis?
No. It almost should be that for us, but Jedi, the form of Jedi is plural. So every other version is, you can tell that Jedi is plural.
Okay. I mean, I figured. He's going to die eventually.
I still don't like this title.
They showed the movie, like a little tidbit from it, and Rey is now wearing her hair down, so that's a thing, which I guess is a thing. I don't know, anything. We're still so new into this movie that anything that comes out is like, oh my god, look at this.
Yeah.
And let's put this out there. I don't want to see another stupid story about Josh Glad was begging Daisy Ridley for Star Wars spoilers. Judi Dench was begging Daisy Ridley for Star Wars.
I liked the Josh Gad one, and then the Judi Dench, and then it just got too much. But I liked that one just purely because he mocked himself, saying like, Olaf's in Frozen 2. Like I don't give a shit. I'll let you know right now, he's in it. What's going on with the Star Wars thing? She's like, I would never. Did you watch it?
No.
That was good because at one point she's like, I'm not gonna ask you about Frozen. He's like, don't worry about it. Olaf's in it. It's fine. That bit was really good. But yeah, then it just kind of escalates.
Okay. That's gonna do it for us this week. Next week, with the preparation for Logan coming out March 3rd, we're going to take our own versions of the Danger Room with our own assembled X-Men teams.
Oh, yeah.
I will explain next week.
Okay.
I'm not going to explain it now. That's insane.
And then in 2 weeks, because Logan comes out, we'll review the film for you, and we will also write our own versions of last superhero stories for superheroes of our choosing. So we'll give you kind of like a little structure on how these heroes go out according to us.
Okay.
Much how Logan will probably go out in Logan.
Mine is going to be Superman accidentally dies during a solar eclipse.
Garrett and I will give you
Hit by a truck.
a more detailed version of ours.
Spider-Man moves to the middle
All
of
right,
nowhere.
stop it. We're not having this.
Whoops.
We're not having this one now.
I'm not going to do that.
I already did. Sticking with it.
Join us next week when it's the first part of our X-Men sweeps. We'll see you then.
Would that work?
3 Wise Radio is a production of 3 Wise Media. For more information, check us out on Facebook.